All right, Dojo, here we are. Home stretch, third video. This one is going to be longer. Why? Because it's important. Um, Nothing I'm going to be sharing here is really that new, but again, with the variables of people attending class and people not always being there, not everyone hears when I share certain things. Um, but we have a lot of new people coming on board recently, and the numbers are getting bigger. And when that happens, things need to be tighter and more efficient. It's a great place to be. Um, but it's also, again, in line with my vision of what I have been wanting to and continue to create with the dojo. Okay. The dojo is, and you're going to discover, especially after this video, very purposefully set up in a specific way. Why? So you can practice being a professional, so you can practice being an artist, so you can practice being a spiritual warrior artist. What the heck is that, coach? Ah, we don't really need to worry about that too much. That's kind of the black belt part of stuff. But the basics and fundamentals is how you get to being a black belt. Right? Being a master is nothing more than mastering the basics and fundamentals. And so the basics and fundamentals need to be in place. So, like I mentioned in the intro, you're going to come in with a piece to work on, monologue, scene. You're either going to have worked with or gotten a scene partner before, or you're going to give somebody pages the day of class, right? How it works is you walk into class, you put your name on the list, and that's the order we're typically going to go. And Mr. Flink's really good about, you know, fiddling sometimes and making sure everyone gets up at least once before some people start repeating. But if there's time and there's space and you have three things to do, you get to do that. Another, kind of perk of the dojo, whereas other scene study classes, you don't get up every week. You could wait weeks at a time to get up in front of class to actually be directed. I'm not a fan of that. So now we're going to get into some meatier stuff. You walk into the room, you are exactly where you are for your scene. There is nothing more to do for your scene until you get up in front of the room. Okay? Why? Why is because your job in class, job's an interesting word, your practice, this is what I'm telling you, what I've discovered, because watch me. What am I doing when a scene is going on? It's what you're going to want me to do, which is pay really close attention to you, which is to be with you. I am actually sitting there cheering you on, giving you my energy, really hoping you're going to get it. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of attention. That's a lot of focus. Do you think I just do that naturally? Or I've gotten better as I've been doing this over the 10 years? Both. You can actually have a talent for being in the moment, but you can always improve it. I say it over and over and over again. Practice how you're going to be on set. That's the whole setup here. Once the director calls action, you need to be totally still and totally silent. If you're not, the director's going to call cut, and the sound guy's going to be like, who was rattling those pages? Who was fiddling with that bottle? Whose stomach just growled? That's how quiet you need to be, because good equipment will pick that up. Please stop thinking that, oh, well, I can do that on set, but I'm not going to do that in class. BS. How you do anything is how you do everything. I'm going to repeat that because I want you to think about that statement. I want you to contemplate that statement. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I knew that statement way, way before John Wick 4 used it. Okay? That came from my coaching practice, my coaching days, where I've been a life coach and a business coach for over 2 decades. And I've coached CEOs, former congressmen and senator, multimillionaires. Okay? And I get paid, $200 to $300 an hour to speak on the phone with them. Just to, again, remind you of what I'm bringing and what you're paying. If you, and I talk about this, and some of you new folks should have gotten how to be an amazing audience member, class member, right? Those are some of the Coach's Corners videos. There's like almost 50 videos in the Coach's Corner page on YouTube. I know not all of you have watched them. There's a lot of great material there for free. Right there for you. Yes, you have to listen to me talk just like this. Sorry. This is the Coach's Corner. This is what it's evolved into. And it might change. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But come in. Pass the scene to someone when there's not a scene going on. If somebody is working, you're paying attention. Even more important or better would be to not just pay attention and watch, but to give them, again, your energy for their greatest success, for their greatest growth. Because guess what? It does make a difference. It's all energy. It's all relationship, right? And this is something, again, from my philosophy as a coach, as a producer, as a soon-to-be director, but as a coach also on feature films, right? Where I take responsibility for energy on set, as well as coaching the actors and prepping them to be there. Everybody on set needs to be involved. Everybody on set needs to be giving their energy. It makes a difference. And again, practice, just like with acting, which is the whole premise of the dojo. You're going to learn on your feet, not because of what I'm telling you. I'm really good at being with you in the moment, coaching you where you're at, and giving you directions to help you stretch, to help you grow. You're the one that's doing the growing. You're the one that's doing the learning. You're the one that's getting it. Now, this brings up a very important point. Oh, well, let's just go in order. When the scene is done, you don't start talking because now I need to dialogue with them. I need to give notes. You need to listen because here's a big one. You want to listen to every note that I give, whether you're in front of the room or not. Listen to every note that I give like it is a note for you. This is going to increase your growth exponentially. This is where the quantum leaps happen. The more you pay attention, the more you listen. Why do I emphasize listen so much? Because that's what we do in the scene. Because that's what being on camera is. Some of the best work you're going to do and see is where you're not even talking, but listening, and the words are landing. You're letting the words do the work. And we see all that happen. Magic, miracles, a sacred act, some would say. I definitely would. This really matters to me. It's why I do it. It's why I'm practically giving it away, right? Because I care about building the community. I want an army of the spiritual warrior artist. I want an army of people who really give a shit about making a difference in other people's lives, who want to touch other people's hearts, who want to touch other people's souls. That's the level that I play at. That's the level that I'm with you. What I'm asking is for everyone else to come along. And even if you don't buy into it, you need to respect that that's the space that I'm in and that I need to work on with people. Yeah. So what does that look like? It's not just being quiet, it's being still. You get to practice not freaking moving. Why? Because you're going to get called on it on set. This is what I'm talking about. So when people are working, you're not flipping pages and you're not reading because your scene is going to be up in a couple of minutes or whatever. You are where you are. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're off book. I don't care if you're cold reading. You are where you are. The work should have been done before you came to class. Now that you're in class, there's a different kind of work to be done. And that's being with and supporting each other and taking care of each other. Yeah? And helping hold the space for me to get them where they need to go. Now, I'm the only one that gives notes. I am the only one that gives notes. I'm going to say that again. Coach is the only person to give notes, just like the director is the only one to direct an actor, unless I'm a coach on set. Then there's that agreement where I talk after the shot, watching the monitor with the director, and we decide, okay, I'll give them that note, or they're going to give them that note. Everyone else, keep it to yourself. If you hear what I'm saying and you hear that somebody isn't, or see that somebody isn't quite getting it, leave it. That's not your path. That's not your journey. It's not your business. You are interfering with their process. The power comes when someone gets it, but they have to get it. Do not take away their process, and trust that I know what I'm doing. Trust, again, that I'm going to get them there. And I may be being a little extra gentle for a certain reason. I don't need your help. Again, I might actually have been coaching longer than you've been acting. I don't need your help. You get it? Good for you. Great. You know what? Write a note about it. You should all have notebooks. You should all be taking notes. Because I know there are things that I know plenty of you have been there for, and I know I've repeated it, and it seems like it hasn't landed yet. Well, you know what's going to help that? Writing notes. You're going to increase your memory just by writing it down once exponentially. The percentage is crazy. And if you review it within the week, it's like, over 50% increase in your ability to recall it. Now, I also believe you have a supercomputer between your ears. You hear it once, you read it once. It's there. You just might not have access to it. Ask me about that later. We can get into neuroscience and all that. You are in the room with each other. You are not moving around. If your chair is squeaky, you need to be extra still. If the table you're leaning on is squeaky, you need to be extra still and probably take your arms off the table. Take your drink when the scene is over. This goes for being on your phones as well. Because when I'm giving notes and having that conversation and you're having a side conversation, not really paying attention, or just being on your note, people in front of the room see that also. Your fellow classmates are getting the message that you don't care. So don't be a distraction. Maybe you don't care. Don't be on your phone. That's not how we play. I check my phone in between because 1, I have a wife and children. 2, I'm looking for upcoming work since I work as a substitute teacher, day jobs. You will never see me on the phone when you're working. So I expect the same of everyone else. When someone's working and I'm working with them, you're not on your phone. And we may as well mention bathrooms. Go in between the scenes. Go before class. I'm okay if you walk in and the scene's going on. That's great practice for people, although that would never happen on set. You realize that no one's going to be walking behind camera while we're filming. I'm giving you an invitation to practice being on set, to practice working on your focus, on your attention, increasing your ability to be still. And not just be still, but to be giving your gift. There happens to be a coach's corner called the gift. You give your gift not just by doing the scene, not just by acting. You give your gift by giving your energy. You give your gift by being an amazing cast member, crew member. It all matters. It all contributes to the final whole, right? All sorts of pieces to the puzzle to make the whole. Each piece matters. Every moment matters. If you start playing by that level, I promise you, much greater fulfillment. I promise you, much greater joy. It's not going to look like other classes. I'm really great with that. I don't want it to look like other classes. I've done other classes. This is not other classes. This is the dojo. And the dojo already has a name. Dojo actors have a name. I want it to be screamed from the frickin' rooftops. Oh, that's a dojo actor. Because we do it different. Because we give a shit. We care. Yeah? We care about each other. We're not going to go rehearse our scene or do something out. No, you are in the room. I've been in those classes. And I regret it. I hate that I've missed out on people's work because I was too consumed and worried about my own. You're missing out. This class is not about the final scene, the final product. We get you to that level without doing that. There needs to be ease and flow in every part of the process. Same thing with memorization. I don't want you stressing about that. I tell you how to do that. Read it every night before you go to bed. Read it every morning before you get out of bed. Read it once during the day. You'll have that memorized in a week without any effort. Again, we can go into that later. Ask me about it. With the numbers increasing in the dojo right now, for me, it's important to continue to grow the dojo and to increase the level at which we are at, which is incredibly high. The work is beautiful right now in the dojo. It's extraordinary. Every evening, I get to experience miracles every week. This is about continuing that. This is about getting you all on board and a little clearer with what the real vision is, right? And what we're up to here. There are many that are in alignment with this. I want all of you on board. Why? Because I love you. I really care about this. And I care about you. I want nothing but your success. And this is about your growth. Your growth. It's your journey. And we all honor and respect each other's journey. And we allow for that to happen. How? By providing the safest space possible. We do that by giving our gift, by giving our heart, our love. Thank you. Love you. And we'll see you in class.